What's going on, everyone? My name is Don Russo from Freeway Music. Today we're going to be doing the second solo from Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Before we jump in, if you like our channel, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and also you can check out our YouTube memberships, which were recently open. And also we have a Patreon that you can check out if you want to support the channel. So everything we're going to be doing is going to be inside of the pentatonic scale, mostly. And a lot of it's in this first box here. So I'm just going to walk through that for those who don't know it. I'm going to start on the 7th fret of the low E string, and I'm going to go 7 to 10, and then 7, 9 for the A, D, and G, and then 7, 10 on the B, 7, 10 on the high E, and just backwards. This is called box 1 of the pentatonic scale. So right off the bat, we're going to be starting in this box. We're going to start off on the 7th fret of the G string. So this first lick, we're going to be starting on the 7th fret of the G string, and we're going to be starting with the pinch harmonic. So if you're not familiar with that is, essentially your pick is going to touch the string, and then your thumb will graze it to make this that kind of sound. And sometimes you got to like search around to find the sweet spot. It has to do with the distance from the note, but I'm not going to get like super deep dive into like harmonic theory right now, because that's not why you're here. You want to learn how to play the solo. So then we're going to go from there to the 9th fret of the G string, which is also in the pattern. Then we do a full step bend. So I'm bending this pitch E to this F sharp. And then I'm going to do another bend release to a pull off. So down to the 7th fret, and then I come up to the 9th fret of the D string. So then the 7th fret of the G string, twice on the 9th fret of the G string, then back to 7G, then 9th fret D, then 7th fret G. So and there's a kind of a slight bend on that note there. Okay, we'll go into the next lick. We're going to be sliding up into pattern 2 of the pentatonic scale. Here, I'll play that for you real quick. So we go, starts on the middle finger, low E on the 10th fret. We go 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 10, 12, 10, 12. So we're sliding into this part of pattern 2. I'm going to be sliding from the 9th fret up to the 11th fret. And I'm going to be using my first finger on the 10th fret here to go back in between these two notes. 10, 11 on B and G. Then I go to the 12th fret of the B string, and I'm going to do a 1.5 step bend here. So basically trying to get this B to a D. It's a pretty tough bend. It can be tough on your fingers. So when you're bending, just make sure you support your bend well with your other finger here, and that you start. I kind of get under the string a little when I'm doing a big bend like that. So, and I'm using my pick and middle finger to do this, just because I play that way a lot. I play a lot of hybrid picking, but you can also just use your pick like that if you want. So then you kind of release the bend after you hold it for a minute into a pull off. Then you play the 12th fret again, and then you play the 10th fret on the high string real quick. So then we come down to the 7th fret, back to box 1, and play 7, 9, and then we do a bend release to a pull off on the 7th fret down to the 9th fret right here. So some nice vibrato there. He uses his tremolo bar, his whammy bar, whatever you want to call it, while he's doing that. Then there's this like little short lick right here where it goes, does like a scalar 3, does a little like a pattern of 3 here. It's going to start with the pinky or ring finger, however you want to do it, on the 10th fret of the B string. We're going to pull off to the 7th fret down to the 9th fret of the G string. So then we go 7, 9, 7 on the G string. So down here to the D string on the 9th fret. Okay, right into this lick where we go. So this lick is another pentatonic lick. I'm going to be starting on the 7th fret of the A string. I'm going to slide up to the 9th fret. Then 7/7 on the D string, 9 on the D, then G, 7th fret. Then I do a pull off from 9 to 7 on the D. So then we're going to do a rake. So this, we're going to go to the next lick, which is going to rake up. So you can do this a couple ways. You can kind of just press down and play through those, or you can mute like that. So I'm just trying to rake up to the 7th fret of the high string to the 9th fret. And then I'm going to do a half step bend. So you can just check yourself. Then I'm going to go 7 on the high E string, 10, B, 7, 10, B. Then I do a full step bend there, so. And then this next lick is going to be used a lot. There's like 3 different variations of this next lick that kind of runs down the pentatonic scale. So let's go over this. We're going to start on the 10th fret of the B string, doing like a triplet there. And then I'm going to do a full step bend, and then go on the 9th fret of the G string, and then go 7 on B, 7 on high E. So that's 10, 7, 9, 9 bend, 7, 7, right? So then I do a bend on the 9th fret. So let's do that again. Then I'm going to go play at the peak and then release it, and then pull off to the 7th fret, 9th fret of the D. So then back down to the 9th fret of the G string, kind of slightly bend this note on the 7th fret, and then I go right down the pentatonic, 9, 7, D. And then I'm going to go 9, 8, 7 on the A string, which is part of the blues scale. This is called the blue note here. 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the low E, then back to the 5th fret of the A string. So let's do that again slow. So cool. And then we go up here to the 7th fret and do just 3 notes there. And then we're going to jump into this next lick. This next lick is going to be running down the pentatonic scale. And I'm going to play it for you real quick and then explain it. So here it goes. And I'm just going, kind of doing the Chuck Berry here, just bending 9 and going 7, 7, B to E. Then a pull off on the B string from 10 to 7. Then 9th fret. So then I'm going to go then I do like a pre-bend, pull off to the 7th fret, then down to the 9th fret of the D. Then I go 9G, kind of a slight bend on the 7th fret of the G, pull off 9 to 7 on D, then 9 on the A, 7, 5, then a pull off on the A string, 7th fret, low E, 5th fret A, then up to the 7th fret of the A string. So you hold this one a little bit longer. That 7th fret on the end is very short, so now we're going to the next piece here. So we're going to slide from 7th fret up to the 9th fret, then the 7th fret of the D string. Then we're going to do pull off 9 to 7. Then we go up to the 7th fret of the G string with the finger roll here. Back down to the 9th fret on the D string. So that's kind of cool. The rhythm changes here. It's like right from here to here. It kind of slows down. So from there, we're going to do a bend. Then we go on the 9th fret, then on the G string, 7th fret B, 7th fret high E, so 10th fret on the B, so then we bend the 9th fret of the G string again, down to the 7th fret of the B, and we come back down to the 7th fret of the G, so. And we end on the 9th fret of the G string there, so. So from here. Cool. So stepping into the next lick, it's gonna be similar to the one we did earlier. Slightly different, so it's kind of annoying because it's like so similar. There's like 3 different occurrences of this lick that are variations of each other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend, and then we're gonna do the Chuck Berry thing again, where I go 9th fret to the 7th fret of B to the 7th fret of high E. So I'll just play the whole thing and then I'll show it to you. So cool, we'll just do that much. So bending 9, 7th fret B, 7th fret high E. We're gonna pull off 10 to 7 right here on the B string. Then we play the 9th fret without bending it. And then we do a bend release, like a pre-release, pre-bend, full step, down to the 7th fret of the G string. Down to the 9th fret of the D string. Then we go 9G, 7G, but like a slight bend there. 9D, 7D, 9, 8, 7, doing the blue note again on the A string, down to the 5th fret of the A string, so 7th fret of the low E, and you come to the 5th fret of the A, and then pull off there. So pull off to that open A right there. Then we go to the 7th fret of the G string and B string, down to the 9th fret of the D string. Now you can hit more than like 2 strings here if you want to, like if you want to, or you know, it's sort of like he's just riffing and jamming, and sometimes it's cool if it's a little sloppy or whatever, as long as you're kind of in that neighborhood. Okay, so we got now this kind of segues into the next part, where we're going to be doing this like double stop riff kind of back and forth. So it just starts off and holds that for almost 4 beats, and then he goes. I just do a couple of mutes here. You can go and try to hit some notes, but I like the way it sounds better. Just doing like 2 quick mutes, so down, up, and then. And the second time, when he plays the 9th fret, there's actually like a slight harmonic there. So from here. So that note there has like a slight harmonic on it. So, and then it does it again. And then it ends on the 7th fret of the B string. So let me play it all together. So I'll go from here. Cool, and then that leads right into this lick. And I'm going to be bending the 9th fret of the G string. Then I'm going to release and pull off to the 7th fret, down to the 9th fret of the D, back up to the 7th fret of the G, then the 9th fret of the G, into a bend there. And then it's gonna do this lick where it starts on the 7th fret of the high E string. And this is gonna be 7, pull off 10 to 7 on the B string, and then a full step bend on the 10th fret of the B string. So from here, where you go, 2, 3, 4. Great. So then from there, we're going to segue back to a lick that was similar to the one we played earlier, where we're going to be going. So, all right, let's talk about this lick here. This lick here is very similar to what we did earlier. We're going to be doing triplets again, and we're going to be bending the 9th fret of the G string to the 7th fret of the B to the 7th fret of the high E. So pull off again, just like we did before, 10 to 7 on the B, and the 9th fret of the G string, just like we did before. Pre-bend down to the 7th fret of the G. Then I'm gonna do like a pattern of 3s here. Sorry. So starting here, pull off 9 to 7 on the G string, come down to 9 on the D. Then 7th fret G, pull off 9 to 7 on the D. So then I go 9, pull off to 7 on the D, down to the 9th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D. Then I go 9, 8, 7 on the A string. So I slide back here, 7 to 5. Then I go to the 7th fret of the low E. Then I'm going to play the octave there on the 9th fret of the D string. So, and then right into a double stop on the 7th fret of the G and the B. So let's play that whole riff again. So, sorry. And that's that whole lick. This now goes into this sort of like double stop riff here where we go. So you're basically gonna be doing 4 mutes, just down, up, down, up. And I'll play it like from that lick so you can see how it feels. So. So I'm gonna do it again. So I go, I put like a slight bend on it with my first finger, nothing crazy. Then we do another mute, and then come down, so. Another mute right into this note. This next section is a bit hard to explain. I'm gonna play it for you and then break it down for you, so. Cool. So let's break that down. I feel like this part is one of the more challenging things to like break down because it's just so much feel happening here. So, all right. So I'm gonna pick it up from here. So then I'm gonna go to the 7th fret of the D string. Then I'm gonna go down to the 7th fret of the G. So then there's kind of like a mute right there. And then I'm going to hammer 7 and 9. Back down to the 7th fret of the G string. Then here I'm going to do kind of like I'm playing sort of G and B here. You can do just the G string or you can play both notes, you know, so. Then I go 7, 9 on the D string. Then I play the 7th fret of the G and B again, so. And I do another pull off from 9/7 down to 9 on the A string. So I get this. That, and you can just practice that little lick there. So it's a great little lick. So the first time it does that, the second time it does it on the G string instead of, so 9/7 pull off to 9 on the G string. So we'll start from just then I'm going to go right here on the 7th fret. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to mute down and then play down. Then I'm going to mute down and play up. So then I'll mute up and then play down. It's kind of like turning the beat around. So mute down, mute up, mute down. So then I go down, up, mute, then strum down. So then I do another down mute, then I play down 3 times. So that's the end of that section. Let me just play it all one more time together so you can hear it. Okay, now we're going to move up all the way up here to the 22nd fret of the B string. This is just a full set bend. You can bend it immediately. It goes right into that B pitch there. You put a little vibrato on top if you want. Then I'm going to go to the 19th fret of the high E string with my first finger. So this is how I bend it anyway. Then I go 17, 19. Then we're going to bend up a half step. So then it bends again and comes back down, back to the 9th fret without bending it. Then it bends it up again and plays it twice. So then you do a bend, release, pull off, and then pull off again down to 17. So you got and I pick up on those personally. Just I don't know why. I think it's just so I can be more accurate by coming on this side of the string as opposed to like maybe accidentally hitting the string. So yeah, so I like to pick up there for whatever reason. Then it does like a kind of like a mute, and you come down here to the 15th fret of the B string, play that twice, and you bend that a full step. It's a really in tune bend, or I thought at first it was a hammer on. It's so in tune, but I'm pretty sure it's a quick bend. And then you do a bend release here and pull off to the 13th fret, back to the 15th fret of the B string. So, and then this lick here starts off with on the 15th fret here. I think I said 15 earlier. I meant 17 when I was referring to this fret. Sorry. Anyway, so now we're going to be doing an index finger bend, like a slight index finger bend here, up to the 17th fret of the B string. And then we're going to do a bend release, pull off from 17 to 15, and then 16 twice. Cool. And then it goes into this lick, which I love. I'm just going 14, 16, then I'm going to slide 16 down to 14 on the D string. So this is G string, sorry. This is D string. Then I'm going to go 12 on the D, then 14 on the A. Then we go up here to the 16th fret of the G string. So And then it starts like kind of fading here. So, but I'm gonna play it all for you so you can play along as you'd like. This is a great lick. I just love how it changes groove from here. So honestly, I might run those together if I'm practicing so I can get the feel of it. But here's how this works. This comes on a downbeat, then it on the upbeat. Just a 15B, 16G. So down to 17, bend, then 15, 17. Now here on the 16th fret of the G string. So I'll go from here. Next lick goes here, starts here on the B string. I'll play it and then explain it. This is going to be a 1.5 step bend from 12 to 15, or from B to D on the B string. Then I go 12, 10. So this is like a quick slide from 11 to 9 on the G string, down to the 7th fret of the G string. I'm going to pull off here from G to B, sorry, on the G string from 9 to 7, and another pull off there. Then I go the 7th fret of the G, then pull off 9 to 7 on the D string, up to the 9th fret of the A string. Then I go 8, 7, 5. Just working through that blue note again. So from here. Cool. And once it does that, it goes into this last rhythmic riff as it's fading out. You can barely hear it. If you need to, you can just go to the end and crank the volume all the way up. Just be careful, because if you go back too far, it's gonna be really loud in your ears. Trust me, I know from experience, from learning it. So now this part is, again, super hard to explain because it's just all rhythm, right? It's just, you're really focusing around this double stop here, or these top 2 or 3 notes right here in the pentatonic scale, or in this B minor chord here. It's just focusing on the 7th fret of the G and B mainly, with every now and then grabbing like that high E note, or maybe even the D string right here, you know. So don't be too worried about being super clean here. You can just sort of like improvise this rhythm if you want to. I'll do my best to explain like what he's doing here rhythmic wise. So let me take it from here. So right off the bat, we're doing a down, down, up, mute, like this. And then I'm coming down twice on this note. And putting a little bit of bend on it. As I tell my students, I'm putting a little mustard on the hot dog. So. Then I do a nice down, up, mute, and come down again. And I do that like 3 times. Then I go. I'm just going mute, down, mute, up, then coming down. So I'm just turning the beat around. So then I come back up, then down twice. So then after that, it comes to just turning the beat around. Mute. Here, I'll do it. So. Now from here, I'm going to mute down and come up, and then mute up and come down. So just like that. So this is a good thing to practice. Just mute down and then come up, and then mute up and go down. So then we come out of that, just doing the pinky on the 10th fret of the B string, bend on the G, down to G on the 9th fret again. So 7G, 9th fret D, and that's on the pentatonic again, so. And that's it. All right, that was the second solo from Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. Please use your comfortable thumb on the like button below. Comment, subscribe, share, and check out our YouTube memberships as well as our Patreon. We'll see you in the next video.